What's up, gamers? Hope everyone is doing well. First off, a quick disclaimer. What I'm about to discuss isn't some backdoor hack or cheat specifically designed to circumvent Dead by Daylight's game design. This is a byproduct of simply trying to protect yourself from a malicious situation. Let's get into the DDoS situation that started plaguing DBD about 2 weeks ago. Dead by Daylight, once again, has fallen victim to childish people set out to hurt a game by hurting its player base. In this instance, prominent DBD streamers have been targeted by continuous DDoS attacks, which are able to obtain their IP addresses and basically shut down their internet. What makes this particular issue worse is that these attackers are able to see the IP addresses of the people in the streamers' lobbies, and thus target them as well. So even if they don't have the streamer's IP address, they can affect the people they play with or against, making nobody safe. In a very questionable statement released by Behaviour, they have said, "The team is deeply invested in fixing this issue, and your help would be greatly appreciated in furthering our investigation. We are looking into every corner to ensure that our network packets are safe and secure, but thus far, we have not turned up any strong leads." They continue on to say, "If you have any information on how this is being achieved, we would love to hear from you. In the meantime, we encourage everyone to continue following best practices for online safety while we dig into this issue." So, in other words, we don't know what's going on. If you know how to fix this, let us know. I'm sure we can all agree that this isn't very inspiring. It seems, although this has also been disputed, that this DDoS issue is only affecting people that launch Dead by Daylight through Steam. As a workaround, people have been turning to playing the game through Epic Games, since cross-progression exists between Epic and Steam. Here's how you go about doing that. Purchase and install Dead by Daylight on Epic Games. It was once available as a free game, so you might have it already. Before you launch the game, head to account.bhvr.com. From there, you can merge your Steam and Epic accounts to ensure cross-progression. This way, any progress will be maintained no matter where you play the game. Lastly, launch the game on Epic and play. It's that simple. Again, this isn't some super secret step. When you launch the game, there's even a pop-up message in the game telling you to merge your accounts and where to go to do it. Now, what they don't tell you is that by doing this, you're resetting your MMR. I don't know if this happens to everyone that does this, but it's happened to me and everyone else I'm aware that has chosen to play the game through Epic to avoid this DDoS issue. I did hear about this happening via Trickster Shadow, but he said that he didn't think it happened to everyone and that his experience was isolated. What you're about to see proves that it wasn't. So the match starts off simple enough, just like any other match. I'm chasing down the Meg here, and I'm going to get the down here with the hatchet. Like, no big deal. I don't know why we're body blocking 2 minutes into the, literally less than a minute into the game, with people going crazy with the body blocks and the flashlights, but I mean, that happens. Like, it's not the first time that I've seen that, so not really a big deal. She saves right in front of my face, which is okay, whatever, but then injured, she just
Hello, are we alright?
thinks that she can get the flashlight there. I don't know what her plan was, but again, I've seen some weird stuff from Survivor, so I didn't really think too much of it. I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna kick this generator, and then get rid of this pallet, and then the other Meg is just here, like she's not hiding or anything, but at any rate, we're gonna get the down on her here, and then we're going to pick her up and get her over to a hook as soon as I can find her. Again, so far, even though a little weird, nothing that I haven't seen before by maybe altruistic swifts or something like that.
Bring her way over here, dude.
So not really that big of a deal so far. But then this is kind of where it starts to get a little bit weird. Like, you can obviously tell, like, I'm right here. Like, my Tyrese has got to be ringing in their ears, and they're just healing right there out in the open. And then after I get the down on her, David's just kind of standing there like, wait, what happened? But then he does pull off a dead hard. So typically that's not a beginner perk that you would expect to see, you know, somebody be able to pull off. So I figured, well, maybe, just maybe, I don't know. A little awkward, but okay. And then here's this Meg again, the same one from before. Just kind of looking like she's walking around clueless. So, but again, I've seen weird stuff before, so I'm not really that concerned about it. She disappears into shack. I head over into the shack, and I'm going to pursue her. I think she's going to maybe head towards the window, but she doesn't. So again, I'm holding out some hope here still, because she knows that I can probably throw through the window, so she's not going to go that way, so I'm feeling okay about it. You know, just figured maybe this was a bunch of people getting together, just, you know, out having a good time. Even though it's really kind of weird, I see the other Meg over here, and the funny part about this is like, she just deadass runs towards me. Just runs just straight right into me, not thinking about anything. But again, I figure, you know, maybe she just wanted to give up. You know, everybody's dead. Who cares? Maybe he'll let me save. You know, whatever the case may be. So I'm still, like, kind of on the fence. This is kind of weird. I did get the 4K at 5 gens, which is something you don't typically see, even up against a mediocre altruistic Swift. But what's even more questioning, and we're going to see this more, is everybody look at their perks. Like, everybody here has, like, rank 1 perks, or rank 2 perks. I mean, they're the one Meg that I was chasing at Shack, like, she has rank 3 perks, so I mean, in Prestige 2, you know, but again, okay, maybe this was a Swift, and they were playing with their friends, and, you know, not a big deal. A couple of people were new, maybe. I mean, I've seen this before, so, like, I'm not ready to immediately sit there and say, oh, I've fallen victim to my MMR being reset. So I just chalk it up to, whatever, and just move on to the next game. So in this next game, this is where things to me start getting a little bit, like, weird. Huntress, Haddonfield, you know, it is what it is. I find the, what is it? I believe that's the Chris right away. Gonna get a hatchet on him, and he's going to go into the house here. No big surprise. I think he's going to take this window here. He doesn't. He actually goes upstairs, which is weird. He doesn't take that window, and instead he drops down here, not having balanced landing, and then he's going to go and just dead end himself over here in the corner, which is kind of awkward, but maybe he thought he was at the Myers house, because there is a vault at the end there, because he was kind of heading towards the end, so it is whatever, but this is where it gets, like, super weird. So I see the Leon on the generator over here, and I'm approaching him, and he's not doing anything. He's just kind of standing up, walking away, doing nothing, and even after I whiz a hatchet by his head, he just stands there and walks away. Just like he's just walking. It's like he's oblivious that I'm even there. I don't understand. It's like he's a bot. So I hook him, and I see that the other 3 of them are in this house over here. So just kind of gonna buzz a hatchet by their head there. Hopefully trying to get a hit, but unsuccessful. I see what I think is the Meg there, crouching. So I'm just gonna kind of go up and maybe chase her off. And at this point, I hear somebody drop. So I'm just going to take this drop here, and it, of course, was the Meg. So I'm going to start a chase with her, get that hatchet. She's going to go around the corner, so I'm going to lose line of sight out of her. I don't see her anymore, but instead I see the Chris again. And again, this is where it gets awkward. He goes into the building. This is fine. Takes a vault, which is normal, but then I don't know where he's going. Like, you can hear me. You can see my red stain and everything. It's almost like they're not really aware of where I am. It's just atypical of what I usually see from Survivor. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to collect this gen mat for the event, but then here's the Leon. Like, I'm right here. And he's just going to just save right in my face. Like, I'm literally, what, 10 meters away from him. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But, okay, whatever. So this is the bill that I'm going to see off of Floods. And he's just kind of creeping. Now, again, what's really weird about this is you can see my red stain and he still comes out anyway. And then after I hit him with the hatchet, once he peeks his head out there, he just starts walking away. No attempt to run, no evasive maneuver whatsoever. And again, here, he's just kind of walking. You know? And I throw some hatchets into the... And there, hey, look, he slow vaults over the pallet. He gets hit. He slow vaults back. Now is where he starts running. So I break the pallet. I'm going to pursue him and chase. I mean, he's not even really hugging the car at all. You know, usually survivors that I go against, when they're looping me around an object, they're hugging it. And it was kind of the same thing throughout the whole thing. Like, they weren't even... Like, they didn't even know I was there. Like, they looked like they were in the first live match that they ever played. Especially that Leon. Like, it was actually uncanny. And again, this was another 4K at 5 gens. And so now, at this point, I'm starting to think that, yeah, there's definitely something up. My MMR is definitely screwed here. Like, it most certainly got reset. And... But maybe, you know, there's a brand new part in here and whatnot, so maybe, just maybe... You know, people had to buy Leon, you know, maybe, just maybe this is just another fluke. It was only the second game, so... I don't know. Let's just keep playing and see how it goes. So, it basically continued on the same as you would expect it to. Another 4K at 5 gens. Or no, this was a 3K plus hatch. The Feng was actually decent. In fact, I think the Feng might have been a victim like I was. Maybe they also tried to protect themselves by going over to Epic, realized that their MMR had been reset, but the sad part about that is they're also going up. They're also in the game with teammates that are babies, brand new to the game. So, you know, that doesn't help your experience either. Like, I mean, look at the Jake here in this instance. He, all level 1 perks. I mean, no offering, no add-ons, no anything, which is typical of somebody starting off, because you start off with nothing but rank 1 of your teachable perks. So, and you're going to see that later on, too. So now I'm thoroughly convinced that my MMR has been reset to 0. In this situation, same thing. 4K at 5 gens. Well, we had a DC in this one. Here we see that we have a Feng with no loadout whatsoever. Maybe they didn't even know that they could have a loadout. I don't know. There's another Feng in here that has a full loadout. It actually is more of an experienced player loadout. Maybe they're in the same situation as I am, where they switched over to Epic and reset their MMR, and now they're going into games with teammates that are literally fresh from the tutorial and probably aren't going to be a whole lot of help to them. This match is probably the most egregious. Here we have a Feng that has no loadout except for one rank 1 perk, her own teachable. And if you're going straight into the game, if you just want to get right into a game, that's all you have access to. You have no items, no add-ons, you have only 1 perk slot available to you, and you have only your own rank 1 perks. Same thing with the Meg here. Maybe she leveled up a little bit, so she's got an offering, she's got an add-on, but again, it's just her perks. One at rank 1, the other one at rank 2. And this is becoming increasingly more and more disturbing. So getting away from the specifics, I saw this more and more and more and more as I continued to play the game. And the result was always the same. The killer didn't matter, the map didn't matter, nothing mattered. It was always a 4K at 5 gens, or it was a 3K plus hatch. The people that I went up against were primarily the same. You can see a couple of people here, again, with no loadout except for one perk slot with one rank 1 perk. And there was one game, the night game, that I think maybe they got 1 gen done. And again, that was a little bit better of a team, so I'm not sure what happened there. But by and large, the results were the same. I'm going up against babies. Going up against people that are literally fresh out of the tutorial, if they even did the tutorial. And it just honestly wasn't that pleasant of an experience. I actually felt bad. So why should you not do this? Why should you not merge your accounts, have your MMR set to 0? While it may sound good on paper, trust me, it's not. I mean, first of all, you're gaining a very unfair advantage. You're going to be going up against people that have anywhere from 0 hours in the game to 20 hours in the game, which is what I mostly saw. And as somebody that has 4,000 hours in the game, even if you have 1,000 hours in the game, even if you have probably 500 hours in the game, you have an unfair advantage against brand new people coming in trying to enjoy Dead by Daylight for the first time. And what's that going to do to them once they experience that? They're probably not going to want to keep playing if more people continue to do this. And that's not good for the community, that's not good for the game, and honestly, nobody wants to see that. Second, it's boring. It's honestly boring. It sounds like it would be fun, and yeah, it's fun and interesting for maybe the first match or two, but after that, you're bored of it. It requires no skill, it requires no effort, you're basically phoning in every single solitary match, and there's just nothing to it. It's honestly just boring. And Behaviour has been made aware of this situation. They have been messaged, they know that this has happened, they just are, for whatever reason, clearly doing nothing about it. They're barely even acknowledging it. I have no idea why, considering that this could affect their brand new player base, but here we are. I guess I can't say that I'm really surprised. So, what do we have to do to be safe? How do we play this game and play it safely? Well, the answer to that is nobody knows. Who knows? It's anybody's guess, to be honest with you. As I've been editing this video, Behaviour has put out another tweet in which they say, "We have thoroughly investigated these reports over the past week. As of yet, there is no evidence we've seen to suggest any personal IP addresses have been leaked. Many of the reports we have received correlate to a crash, which has since been fixed in our last update." You have got to be kidding me. I have never been more thoroughly appalled at a response from a company in my entire life. They're literally just sweeping the situation under the rug and pretending that it didn't exist. They're literally gaslighting us into thinking that there was never a problem to begin with. And I don't know how they can come out and issue such a response when there has been countless examples of this happening to people playing their game. It's happened to all of the prominent streamers in the game. I mean, it's happened to Ots Darva, I think, on 3 separate occasions before he just stopped playing the game. And he's their fog whisperer, man. I mean, what's that say to you? I swear I can't believe it. I just absolutely cannot believe that they would come out with such a response. Like, even if even if there was nothing to do, even if it had nothing to do with behavior, even if it wasn't on behavior's side, and it is somehow linked to people launching the game through Steam, then at least come out and tell us that, oh, well, we're going to be in discussions with Steam, or whatever the case may be, and we're going to get down to the bottom of this because this is clearly an issue. There's nothing that's really happening on our end, but we're going to go outside of our facility and we're going to look into what could be causing the problem for the players in our community. Instead, they come out and they give us a tweet like this. In all honesty, they would have been better off saying nothing at all, as opposed to issuing a tweet like this and sweeping it under the rug. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is exactly the video interpretation of the tweet that Behaviour just put out.
Let me see your identification.
You don't need to see his identification.
We don't need to see his identification.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
He can go about his business.
You can go about your business.
Move along.
Move along.
Again, I have no further words. I don't know what to make of this. I can't possibly believe that this is something that they would come out with. It just shows an extreme lack of care on their part. So, where do we go from here, gamers? I don't know. Play the game at your own risk, I guess. Take whatever precautions you can take. MMR be damned, I guess. Use a VPN, all that good stuff. Or, in all honesty, if you want to be 110,000% safe, just don't play the game. Just don't play the game until they've figured it out. I mean, clearly they don't care if you do or you don't. Otherwise, I feel like they would have been a little bit more proactive in this situation, but sadly, it doesn't seem like they're not. So, dark days for Dead by Daylight. Sorry that I have to end the video on such a somber note, but thank you all for watching, and hopefully next time I'm going to be back here with something much more exciting to report. Be safe out there, gamers. We'll see you on the next one.